to CFBNation. I'm your host, Nino Brown, and I just wanted to give you a nice portal update on a couple QBs that I've been getting some buzz lately before I headed out to this Army Navy game. First guy on the list is Kyle McCord, former Ohio State Buckeyes. I mean, he's been getting all kinds of gripe in social media and from other players and coaches and media guys. But then you got a bunch of guys from Ohio State that kind of backed him up, saying, he went through a lot and nobody knows what he went through and he stuck it out for them. But he hit the portal. And, a lot of rumors going around that first it was maybe he would take a trip down to Miami. But now it's pretty much, 90% looking like that trip out to Nebraska, met with Marcus Satterfield, and looking like it's going to be a deal. Obviously, right now, unless it says committed anywhere, it's not 100%. But it seems like Kyle McCord will be going to Nebraska. But he's not going alone. And he's bringing possibly a wide receiver from Ohio State, and that would be Julian Fleming. So, they get a little combo pack right there in Nebraska. He had 24 touchdowns last season. I mean, that's probably the most ever by a Nebraska quarterback in the history of Nebraska football coming in there. So, I could be a good fit, and you're in the same conference. You get to kind of stick it to your team if you guys can make a run. He had, 65% completion this year. Like I said, 3,100 yards, 24 touchdowns, only 6 picks. It was just, there were games where at Ohio State, the faithful will get on him. I was a McCord guy. Yes, I'm not blind. There were some games where he just didn't have it. I think there was something like he had 30% of like misreads of bad throws, but then there was games where he was dialed in. So he brings what he has. He's got a big arm. He's not the most mobile guy, but he's got a big arm. He's a pro-style quarterback. Bring that into Nebraska. Whatever they do in the portal and recruitment, it might be a good landing spot for McCoy. It's kind of like Bo when he left Auburn. Left Auburn, went to Eugene, and just resurrected his career. That this could be the thing that Kyle needs. So let's hope Nebraska's a fit. Like it's not 100%, but right now most crystal balls are about 90 that he's going to Nebraska. Next guy up, big name, Dante Moore, probably number one guy in the portal for QBs, recruiting wise or whatever it may be. You could say Chip Kelly didn't use him right, probably because Chip Kelly's the QB killer. He's been like that in college football. He's been like that in the NFL. He just doesn't do well making the right decisions on the quarterbacks. But when it comes to Dante Moore this year, there was a lot of hype around him. He did visit Michigan early in the recruitment process, committed to, Oregon Ducks, came out to Eugene. And then when Bo returned, he decommitted and went out to UCLA. He started the first 4 weeks, but I mean, outside of the San Diego State game where he had 3 touchdowns, it was kind of Then it was Ethan Gabbers came in for him. And then Colin Shea had a couple starts here and there, and then week 13, he played. It probably was his better, one of the better games, 266 yards, only had 1 touchdown, 60% completion. He had 2 or 3 games where he was over 60%. Is it Michigan? It's what everybody's saying. But then all of a sudden this morning, he's going to take a visit back home where he committed the first time, Eugene. I know in the first video I said Dylan Gabriel, but like I said in the beginning of this video, unless it says committed, nothing is 100%. I don't know about Oregon because, like I said in the first video, they're going Big Ten. They want an experienced QB year one in that inaugural period. They can't go in with a guy who we kind of saw was a little hot and cold, had games, and then there was games. It wasn't bad. I mean, he had back-to-back games with 3 interceptions. So, like I said, Chip Kelly's not the dude. He kills QBs. So maybe it was Chip Kelly in the offense. We'll have to see. Right now, we're kind of looking like it's Michigan, Oregon. I think he would go Michigan, but we'll have to see. And then the last guy, it's been a big name in college football for a while. That'd be Grayson McCall. Right off the rip when he entered, I was like, ooh, going to Auburn, right? They don't know what's going on, paint on the whole rigmarole. Last year he visited there, wanted to go there. I heard it was some kind of academics issue, whatever it may be. Ended up coming back to Coastal Carolina. Fine, no big deal. Off season for him, his worst season he's had collegiate football for the Coastal Carolina. He had injury last couple of games, so he didn't play. Concussion obviously was bad. He went to the hospital. They took him out, but he's one of the college football's most efficient QBs. Right off the rip, they said NC State. They visit him home, the whole rigmarole, and then UCF emerged. UCF for me just seems like a spot, right? If we're getting a fully healthy Grayson McCall, I think UCF is the perfect spot for him. You could get to see his sophomore McCall where he was just like lighting it up. I mean, his sophomore year, 2,800 yards, 27 touchdowns, only 3 picks. He was actually kind of mobile in that year as well. 290 rushing yards. He had 4 touchdowns the year before. He was 569 yards rushing. If he's healthy, UCF is just like you plug out Plumlee, you plug in McCall, and if he has weapons, man, watch out. That could be a spot. There's a couple of wide receivers that have been rumored to go to UCF in the portal, so we'll have to see. But don't ever rule out Auburn. I just have a feeling now that he's graduated all of that academic issue, whether it was a class he wanted to take or it was academic end on his end, it doesn't matter anymore. So I know NC State's been rumored. I know now UCF is kind of like leading the way per se, but do not rule out Auburn. There is a good chance that they could sneak up in the later hours and you could see McCall be an Auburn Tiger. I'm Nino Brown, CFB Nation. I'm heading out to the Army-Navy game. It's the last game before we hit these bowl games. So people tune in. You know, College Game Day is going to be there. Belichick's going to be there. I'll happen to be there. We got boots on the ground in these bowl games. Once again, I'll drop another portal video on a day or so in regards to a couple more QBs. Maybe we'll touch on some wide receivers. You know, Blake Shapen did commit to Mississippi State, which I think is a good fit for him. You know, get that air raid going. You know, see what he got. You got Levy's back over there, and he's. I mean, the air raid's back with Levy, and we'll see what happens. But like I said, CFB Nation portal updates. I'm Nino Brown.